So let's talk momentarily about living alone, why you might want to live alone, and some of the reasons for doing so. If you're on a spiritual path, especially as a meditator or as someone who is trying to deepen the peace in your being. So living alone, it's not really about avoiding people exactly. That would be, oh, I gotta avoid people. They're so bad. I'm so much better than them. That would be stupid superiority thinking you're superior. You know, thinking that everyone is worse. You don't want to think that way. That's not smart. It's not true. Living alone is for the benefits of a simplified lifestyle. The benefits of living in a simplified, quieter lifestyle. It seems it's actually an achievement to actually live a simpler lifestyle and maintain that, and not allow complexity or drama, yours or others, to come into it. Allows you to have a quieter mind, allows you to, because we often think that meditation is like something that, we do on our seat in the morning, we do it on our seat in the evening. But in reality, it's not quite like that. In reality, you want to have a quieter mind all the time, as much as you can. And the way to do that is to simplify your lifestyle, quiet it down, have less have involvement with less people, have less going on. So made some points about why to live a simplified lifestyle, which is what living alone is. And I'm going to go through them here. So I got them in front of me. So when you live alone, you can't get drawn into an argument with your roommate after lunch. Now, you can get drawn into an argument with your dad if he calls you on the phone. So when you live alone, you better also moderate your use of the phone. And my recommendation is train yourself to not answer the phone on the first ring. Wait for the second or third ring. And when you're really focused on something and don't have the time to process an argument, you might want to not answer your phone at all and just get back to people. Check your messages. So when you live alone, you can't get drawn into an argument with your roommate after lunch. You don't have a roommate. And an argument with the roommate can take up your mind for days afterwards. So that's a really great thing to protect yourself from when you live alone. And you never really know when you're going to have an argument with someone. It could, anyone. We can argue with anybody. So there's no perfect roommate either. So when things aren't clean and tidy, when you live alone, you can't blame it on anyone else. So it kind of puts you face to face with yourself more. And it stops that whole dialogue in your head about, oh, they're so, I wish they would do the dishes more, or whatever it is. I wish they would put the toilet seat down, or whatever, or up, or whatever. When living alone, you just have your own bad habits to deal with. When you live with others, you also have their bad habits and vices to deal with. Maybe they leave the toilet seat up or down. Maybe they sometimes drink too much and get noisy and aggressive. Maybe they are a major sugar addict, and so they're always leaving donuts on the counter in a box, or whatever it is, and you're really determined to avoid sugar, and now you've got temptation around you. And that other people's, or rather temptation, is one of the main things you've got to remove from your life if you're on, because that will definitely get your mind going and get your emotions going and take you away from meditation and enjoying a quiet mind. So if you're on a real spiritual path with a teacher, you're on a narrower path than most people. Your teacher is asking you to let things go, many, many things, so that your peace can deepen and your power can grow. You're not losing energy to things that drain you, addictions and distractions and aggressive elements in the world and so on. So when people get serious about their path and their simplified lifestyle, this is when they often move to a monastery, or at least they move to the country, But the truth is, a big house in the country with a few others may even be quieter than living alone in a condo in the city. So you have to discern. you have to discern where you should be. You know, the big house with many roommates, if it's a really big house and it's on, say, an acre, and there's like 3 patios, and you're surrounded by a lot of nature, and there's trails to walk in, you know, this could be a much better choice than living alone on the edge of a busy city, where you're in a condo, and the condo next to you might have a couple that fights, and the condo next to them has a guy who is practicing the drums or whatever, you know. So the big house may actually provide you with more quiet and more room, even though it has more people. So when we say living alone, what are we really saying? We're saying the purpose of living alone. We're talking about the reason to live alone. And that is to have a quieter mind and a more simplified lifestyle that's better for you. Now, discernment means that there will be times when you will be guided to move several times in a year. You know, and your discernment and your intuition will come together and lead you, and you don't really know why you're moving to a place. Sometimes it'll be an intuitive direction that you're following, and you know, your gut just, it felt right, and maybe you had a vision or a dream, and it also feels right, and there's some common sense behind it as well. But you don't really know why you're going there until you get there, and you find out that it's to meet a certain person, to have a certain relationship, you know, or to just learn certain lessons. You know, you don't know why you're going there, or really how long you should be there for. All that would be your mind trying to control things, and you're here. The path is really about not controlling things. It's really about knowing that you don't know much of anything, really, for sure. You definitely don't know where you should be. You know, your head is not. You're not enlightened. You don't have that much awareness. You know, this is what you realize as you move more deeper into the path. Delusions of superiority and power go away more and more, and also there's the element of timing. Timing matters. So you may get a direction to move, you know, and then if you don't move, you don't follow that timing, well, that timing may pass, and now your guidance may guide you to stay put, you know, and wait, you know, until you're directed again to move. There's an element of timing with intuition as well, is what I'm getting at. So living alone, you know, so that just gives you a whole idea of how there's the surface prescription, you should live alone, you know, that your teacher told you. And then there's what it really means, which is a deeper, more nuanced thing that you need to contemplate. You know, the teacher's teaching is always one that comes in, and then you must contemplate it and discern how it applies to you and what it really means. You know, it's a constant effort on the spiritual path. So I hope that was helpful, and I hope you find yourself in great environments where where your home and your environment is more and more simplified, and it serves you to be both in a calmer mind, but also a happier person. You know, serves your joy as well, and also serves your all of that.